achievement that shows the refinery can meet the US's strict fuel quality standards. This milestone not fuel trade dynamics, with more shipments already on their way. And following the death of conservative commentator Charlie Kirk, the Washington Post fired Ghanaian-American journalist Karina Tia over social media posts she made concerning political violence and gun deaths. Now, Tia, who was the paper's last full-track black opinion columnist, claims the termination is part of a broader trend of removing black voices from the media. The Post accused her of gross misconduct that endangered colleagues, and this is a claim she denies. And Ghana's Gold Board has declared 4 individuals, 2 Ghanaians and 2 Indians, wanted over an alleged gold smuggling syndicate. The wanted individuals are named as Mohammed Afsal Putalan, Mr. Nandoli Abdul Karim, and Sadiq Abubakar. The board has placed the 1 million booty on each suspect, who are believed to have been part of an operation that smuggled over 100 kilograms of gold. Authorities have already seized 8.5 kilograms of gold valued at over 10.2 million in connection with this case. Many thanks for staying with us. We'll take a very short breather here. When we come back, we'll launch straight into the main conversation for the day. Do not go away. Stay tuned.
You're tuned in to Z 101.9 FM. Your lifestyle, leisure, and business radio.
President Mahama has directed
Fam.
So opportunity the boss say oh ina then show me cause we somebody other so I didn't know about quantum obi baba obi poko na people no about quantum cause no around let me do what come you know but then the I will be a man you know but then the man you know I will bring them around. With a crack, and that, the crack, with a way, but down the crack, with a crack, and I do the crack, with a crack, and you know, with a crack, and that, the crack, with a way, but down the crack, with a crack, and I do the crack, with a crack, and you know.
If you're just joining us, you're welcome to the Focus on Z101.9 FM, your lifestyle, leisure, and business radio. So as mentioned earlier, today we're going to have a very critical conversation on our educational system. And it's very critical because that forms the heart of our growth and our future. The future of tomorrow really depends on our education today. And we have seen our educational system or sector go through different phases, really different phases that we have been unable to control some of them, or some of them we are not even anticipated them. Some have come with political parties' promises, some have come with the needs of the time, and some have just come out of the blue. But today we're going to look at what is next for our educational system. What should we expect? Have we achieved any success so far? And in fact, in all the different systems we have implemented, which one has been that which has helped us tremendously? And you can join us by sending us your contribution and your comments to our WhatsApp line 054 432 1019. 0544 321019, or you can join us on our Facebook page ZFMGH, or even our YouTube page ZFMGH. You can leave a comment there, or you can send in your comments to our WhatsApp line. We are happy to take them and to read them out. So let us know so far which of the educational systems have been very efficient or have been effective in training our future leaders. But I also have with me online Mr. Lloyd Evans, who's a veteran journalist and he was with the Graphic Communications Group Limited, who is going to help us have a conversation on our educational system. Later, we'll be joined by Dr. Kofi Ashibwe-Mensah, who's a country director for and also an exams ethics expert with Marshalls International. He'll join us shortly. Mr. Evans, if you can hear me, you're welcome to the Focus. Mr. Evans, if you can hear me, you're welcome to the Focus on Z101.9 FM.
Okay, all right, I've got it.
Thank you. I hope you can hear me well.
All right, thank you very much, and we are very grateful for your time this morning.
Thank you.
Yes. So in going straight,
I think when Professor Jobo chairs SHS will be, have something to do immediately they come out of school. But we are still running the grammar system. We are still running the grammar system, and it hasn't changed, to that extent.
yeah,
And I think as a nation, we really have to sit down, forever produce unemployed, where every child will have to go through, the grammar system of education, English, maths, science, this and that and that. But as they train you, they are giving you skills, you are acquiring skills. So immediately you come out of it, you know exactly what you have to do.
yeah,
You wrap to the university. Now our universities are choked, and we produce graduates every now and then. What has been their use? Meanwhile, there's a lot of unemployment. So these are the things that we should now sit back and critically assess our educational system and see if we can look at what the advanced countries have done or are doing or will be doing. Then we can also follow suit.
right.
But if we continue with this system, your child will come out from school, university, have his BA, go further to have the MA, PhD, and he or she will still be at home. Are we training our students for the job market, or we are just training them for the sake of training? These are the two things that we have to look at it and address it.
Right. Thank you very much, Mr. Evans. I've been joined by Dr. Ashibwe-Mensah. Doctor, can you hear me, please? Hello, Dr. Ashibwe-Mensah. Okay, my team would work at getting him back onto the line. But let me still turn to you, Mr. Evans. And you rightfully mentioned some very critical aspects of it. Now, you can advise better. It's your assertion of our educational system right from, let's say, the Nkrumah era when we took over independence till now. So assertion that the entire curriculum have not been that which is tailored towards our job market?
We were handed over, our education system was handed over to us by the British. So we took the British style of education, the grammar.
Yeah.
The grammar. Most of our secondary schools that we have are all grammar schools. We can say 90% all grammar schools.
Yeah.
How many vocational and technical schools do we have? Japan has more technical and vocational schools than the grammar. You see? So these are the things. Now, we took it from that angle. Fine, but does it inure to our benefit? What has it achieved? What are other countries doing? You see, we have to compare and contrast what others are doing. A Japanese boy from secondary school can easily fix, a laptop easily. Easily. Can we have a secondary school chap from either Accra Academy or Raleigh or whatever school? Can he or she fix a laptop? You see, so these are the things.
Yeah.
And the impression, I will not blame the Jomo Committee reports or the Jomo Committee. They came out with everything, but did we implement, are we implementing, or have we implemented what they told us in the report? We are still in the grammar.
But if Mr. Evans would come to...
As a nation, we really sit down. We have a lot of educational CSOs. We must sit down and critically analyze it. Let's put politics away.
Yeah.
Let's put politics away. Look at the number of unemployed graduates that we have. Are we training them as teachers? Are we training them as pharmacists? Are we training them as engineers? Are we training them as architects? Are we training them as doctors? What are we doing? You even look until recently, how many students get the chance to go to the law school? About plenty. And they didn't have access. It is until recently that they've modified the whole admission to the law school. Can we do it in other areas?
Yeah.
That we can absorb these. You see, if we don't train professional people, the country will not develop as it is. We have a lot of, you see, most schools have a lot of land. Most schools. How have we taken agriculture? How have we, what is the seriousness of agriculture training in our secondary schools? So we see agriculture as punishment.
Yeah.
Go and weed.
But in fact, Mr. Evans, we'll come into these details maybe shortly. But I have Dr. Ashibwe Mensah on the line now.
Okay.
Doctor, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
No, Dr. Ashibwe Mensah. Hello, Dr. Ashibwe Mensah. I think his...
The line is not good for him.
Yes.
I think I know him very well. Ashibwe
Yes.
Mensah, I know him. I know the father too as well.
All right.
During the PhD days, yeah. I'm sure that is the father.
Right. Mr. Evans, let me come to you on the... Now, coming through that journey, you mentioned the Jomo report, which was supposed to... I mean, that was a committee that was set up to be able to assess our educational system at that time and see how we can transition. But let me find out from you, what were the problems with that old system that the committee was seeking to recommend for a new one? That is the O-level, A-level system we're having then. What was the problem with it, apart from the grammar nature of it?
Yeah, okay, you see, because of unemployment graduates that we were turning out, at that time then, the Jomo report recommended that, look, as we turn out students, we should be putting them in employable skills, something that they can easily start on their own without much capital. So the issue of visual arts, the issue of home economics, they started introducing them to those subjects at very early stage, so that along the line as they develop from the JHS to the SHS, they will get it, the chance to know more. So by the time they get out of SHS, that 6-year period, at least a child can be conversant with producing maybe donuts or catering or getting into agriculture on a very small scale, poultry farming. So these were the things, So as they were putting you through the grammar model, there is this attachment of this vocational skill being attached to it.
Yeah.
But that aspect didn't come out well. So they still maintain the grammar. So the child will do 17 subjects, 16 subjects, 15 subjects, all grammar, with 1 or 2 electives. Okay, do visual arts, do home economics. That wasn't the motive, I suspect. So the child comes out and he thinks that, oh, I'm out of SHS. I have to go to the university. And then he goes to the university, do a program, he comes out or she comes out, and there's no job for him. So the 4 years that he stayed in the university, wasted. Everything wasted. Time wasted, money wasted, effort wasted. So now he comes into the system and he's looking for a job at immigration, looking for a job at Ghana Airport, looking for a job at Ghana Commercial Bank, looking for a job at state institution. Meanwhile, if he has done something like fashion or dressmaking, he can start his own job. Look, yesterday or the day before yesterday, I was going through my Facebook, and there's these bloggers in the US, they interview rich men and all that, millionaires.
Yeah.
And this guy just bumped into one guy, then asked him, oh, how did he get rich? He said, well, I dropped out of school and I followed my passion. And the guy asked him, so what was your passion? Basketball. He dropped out of school. His passion was basketball. He has developed it. He's now a millionaire. He has his own, I don't know how you people call it, brands, shoe brands, sneakers, socks, caps, and he's making money. This is a boy who dropped out of school. He's now a millionaire. He has had people to advise him. He has got managers and all that. And these are here in Ghana, if you drop out of school, you are done. You are done. You don't have a passion to follow.
But Mr. Evans, isn't
everybody is cut for secondary or university education? Something that we must accept it, so that at least we must be able to put everybody to where he or she fits.
Hello, Mr.
How
Evans.
many men and women do we have in this country? How many? And meanwhile, they are talented footballers that we can nurture, but because of academics, they are not able to develop. Do we pick them? Do we train them? So these are the things. So as a nation, we must really look at the whole thing very holistically.
But Mr. Evans, won't one say that the reason for our educational system as it is, the grammar system, is supposed to provide a base so that when you go through, you would be able to, because let's say the person enters secondary school at the age of 12 or 13. Really, the person does not really know what he wants to do, or she will not know what she wants to do. But by going to do the general things, the integrated science, the English, the economics, now you get exposed to different aspects of life. Then now you can determine which side to go into and be trained. So even if you join the secondary school and decide to do sports and realize that you are a sportsman, you can decide that, okay, then I'm going to follow that aspect of my life. Isn't that the reason for the educational system we have?
You see, you said something right, and then along the line, you twisted it a little bit. Now, the boy at the age of 13 entered into a secondary school. He's not good at the grammar, but the guy is very athletic, very sportive, and has everything that he or she can develop.
Yeah.
Now, don't make the grammar the sole, I don't know how to describe, the sole rule that if he doesn't pass his English and maths and science, he won't get to the next stage. But meanwhile, the guy is equally good in these areas. So why don't you focus him well and reduce that sort of the grammar a little bit, so that at least the boy will follow that passion along the line. You see, some children develop as they grow. Some are not as sharp as some people. A 13-year-old boy, will be doing things as if he's 7 years. A 7-year-old boy will be doing things as if he's 14 years. So we have different types of children and people. So 13-year-old boy entered into a secondary school, is not academically good. But when you look at certain things that he does, very brilliant and very apt to do things. So you start pushing the boy to that direction without focusing too much on the grammar. Yes, you do the grammar. But that shouldn't be the focus. That shouldn't be the sole thing that should be looking out of the child. What can you get out of this child that when he comes of age will be beneficial to society? Period. So you won't suppress him or her at a particular corner. He has to pass the English language. He has to pass the maths. He has to pass the physics. He has to pass the integrated science. He has to pass the and the child will get frustrated. By the time he realizes he's old, by the time he realizes, oh, this guy is very, very good when it comes to artwork. Though his grammar and everything is not the best, you give him more exercises in those visual arts area. Along the line that is doing it, you're also making sure that you are bringing him or her up to speed with the grammar, with the mathematics, so that at the end of the day, the guy will come out and do a nice painting, very beautiful painting, which will cost about 2 million or 200,000 or such an amount, and the guy will make a living. Look at the chap that I took that he dropped out of school. He dropped out of the school. He said, I dropped out of the school to follow my passion. Because the system is there. The system is there to accommodate him. So when he dropped, the system didn't drop him either. The system took him and then he followed his passion. So these are the things that we must look at the whole education system holistically. That's all what I'm saying.
Right.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Right. Thank you very much, Mr. Evans. Dr. Ashibwe-Mensah, can you hear us now?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Thank you very much. We are very happy to have you on the show today.
Thank you to be here as well.
Yeah, as known to today in 2 words. So I guess I'll just ask you that same question. The educational system we found ourselves in, at least from the time you were born, as you have known it till now, if you had to describe in just 2 words, what will it be?
Good morning to all listeners. And what I would say about educational system is that it is always deteriorating. I just finished a class with my master's students, and one of the questions she asked, especially those who do that, what she thinks must be done. And the question is, what is she doing now? What has happened before? And how is he handling it now? So the conclusion that we drew in class today has to do with the fact that our educational system is falling. So I charge them to say that in this JSS, what are the pavilions? And I must be very quick to say that politics is ruining our educational system. Politics is making the educational system to look bad, because a politician will come, change the system, that you will be known for this. Meanwhile, there is a blueprint for Ghana Education Service, Ministry of Education, that you must follow. Now, the question is, in the Constitution, you have what you call the FQIP. FQIP. Where is it? Where is the FQIP? Free compulsory basic education. Where is it? Something nice to say that our foundation must be strong.
But we currently have the free basic educational system.
You can have what?
The basic system, I think the public school system is currently free.
Oh, my brother, it can be free when they are still under threes, when they don't have classrooms, when the teachers don't have lights to charge their phones. What kind of freedom is that? That is not, you see, when they say free, it is not only in the fee you pay. It is not complete, my brother. Look, the foundation must first be strong, and the foundation is the basic school. All attentions must go to the basic school.
Hello, doctor. I think we are losing you. Hello, Dr. Ashibwe-Mensah. Hello, Dr. Ashibwe-Mensah. Can you hear me, please? I think doctor's internet might have. Okay, I'll turn to you, Mr. Evans, while we still we're trying to fix the doctor's connection.
Right.
So now, yes, sir. So I mean, you have rightfully mentioned. In your submission, you rightfully mentioned the fact that it's appropriate that we rather identify the talents and put them where they ought to belong. So then,
Sure.
can I presume that then you would have recommended?
Yeah, my network is very bad here.
Okay, doctor.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, I can hear you now. Okay, I'll turn to you. Mr. Evans, I'll come back to you when doctor finishes submission.
So what I'm saying is that the basic school must be forthright. It must be strong. So we are not in the era where a standard 7 people who finish Form 4 can become a manager of an institution. Now, can we have that today? Can our HCTS graduate become a manager of an institution? So you can see the level at which we have fallen. And there must be consistent and conscious effort to be able to right the wrong. And I would want to say, with no reservation, that politics must be out of our education. Once politics is in, this is where we shall be. And it is very bad that we cannot see what we saw before. We can't see what we saw before because of the way we handle it.
Yeah. Hello, Dr. Ashibameza. Hello, doctor. Can you hear us? We seem to be losing you in studio.
You're tuned in to Z 101.9 FM. Your lifestyle, leisure, and business radio.
I think Dr. Ashibameza has joined us again. Doctor, can you hear me, please?
You're tuned in to Z 101.9 FM. Your lifestyle, leisure, and business radio.
Okay, I'll turn then to Mr. Evans while we try to fix doctor's internet. So, Mr. Evans, I was asking that, so then are you recommending from your submission then that when students are put in school, so let's say somebody is placed to read visual art, you should made to just write exams in the visual art space and not may cut off his talent? Is that what you were proposing?
No, not precisely that. You see, the emphasis, but not focusing so much on it that he or she cannot develop.
Yeah.
The guy is very good with the visuals. So I allow him to pursue that area. Meanwhile, the grammar is not the best. So because the grammar is not the best, you will stall his development when it comes to the visuals. Allow him to pursue the visuals. And at the same time, encouraging him on the grammar. Because at the end of the day, is he going to use the grammar or the visuals to work? He's going to use the visuals to work. So he's failing 8. That shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah.
Encourage him, push him, so that at least he or she can be able to, you know what? Look, from P1 to P6, which is about 6 years, the child will be 12 years. Now, this child, 12 years, is doing almost about 14 subjects. Why? No. I ask myself, why? Look, in our time, when I was in preparatory school, we did about 6 or 8 subjects. And English, arithmetic, at that time, we were not calling it mathematics. We were calling it arithmetic. Then we did what we call hygiene. Then we did what we call dictation. Then we did what we call composition, which is history writing. Then we did civic. Then as we go higher, then French is added to it. Now, when you look at the thing critically, 3 of the subjects are all English-based. The English language that we are doing, that's the grammar. Then the dictation, they make sure that you are very good at dictation. So it is a subject by itself that we study. Then composition, which we call Hesse. So at the end of the day, your English will be good,
Yeah.
solid, as you go along. Then you have arithmetic, then hygiene, then civic. Then when you get to class 3 or 4, then French is added to it. So you do about 6 to 7 subjects. So by the time the child gets to JSS, he or she is well versed in the basic subjects. Then when you start adding on, it won't be much of a problem to him or her. But 12-year-old boy, girl, doing 14 subjects, for what? For what? And we are happy with it.
Yeah.
You see, so these are the child is going to school with so many books, he doesn't know what to do, doesn't know what you don't give the child the freedom to explore him or herself.
Yeah.
How do the child exploit? And we all exploit ourselves when we were very young, tender. Our parents saw what we were capable of doing, and they pushed us there. So this is what we have to do. We must really sit down. And I like what Dr. Ashibwe Mensah said. And I'm happy that he agrees with me that education in this country has deteriorated and is deteriorating faster and faster. So we should look at these things very critical. I mean, at times you see, university graduates, the lot of English language that they write.
Yeah.
I mean, now they've taken it to the pidgin, so it has become the norm. Ghana is not Nigeria.
But isn't then that the case that even the grammar we are even seeking to give to them, we are not benefiting from it in any way, or the benefit is not great? Because if you mention that now even the English that we thought we were teaching them as part of our grammar education, when they get to the university, we don't get good grammar in terms of their written work and all that. I mean, some people who are working, then isn't now even that grammar system still problematic?
Yes, because we didn't get the foundation that these children should have right down from the basic schools. And that's what Dr. Ashibwe Mensah said. From the basic, when the foundation is weak, no matter what you do, it will be weak. The structure will be weak. And at a point, it will collapse.
All right.
No, he said something. Can we have a standard 7 boy or girl becoming a manager?
Yeah.
Our fathers were in standard 7, and they rose to become managers. You see, so we can go back to the drawing board and then sit down and analyze these things critically. You see, we shouldn't add politics to it. When we add politics to it, we will destroy everything. We will destroy everything. Let's put the politics aside and say, look, our educational system is bad. What are we going to do? Where are we going to start from? Is it from the teacher training colleges? Is it from the universities? Is it from the basic schools? Where are we going to start from? Then when we are able to find the problems, half of the solution has been achieved. Then we can move on. But if a child would do 14 subjects, I mean, where do you want the boy to end or the girl to end? Without that strong structure, without that strong foundation. If a child can write good English, I mean, doing the rest is nothing.
Yeah.
It will just come back. He can even read on his own and understand. But you read and he doesn't understand. So what have you achieved? Nothing.
Absolutely.
So for me, we must really sit down, and I don't know who is going to organize that conversation. And I don't know who is going to organize that conversation for us to sit down as a nation, look at some of these things, and see how best we can improve on our educational system so that at least we turn out professionals.
Right. Thank you very much. We've managed to have Dr. Ashibwe Mensah join us on the line. Doctor, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
All right, sure. Thank you. So I'll allow you to finish. I think you're in the middle of your submission when the internet went off. I'll allow you to finish on that before we move on.
Yes, so like I was saying, it is very important that we realize that our educational system has a very big problem, which means that the politics have taken over our educational system, where the technocrats are not allowed to make voices be known and heard. That to make our school system to be more appealing and making sure that it is achieving the purpose for which they have been established. my co-panelist mentioned something grammar school. Grammar school means that when the child can speak good English, then the child is good. But the question is that enough? Can the English make us what we want to become? No, it cannot. So there must be something that is a skill that we should be able to get out of the child. Now, those days, you can see that whatever is being taught, there is something called the Bloom taxonomy. It comes into play.
Yeah.
What does it do? It makes the child to have knowledge, to think, get new knowledge, get new ideas, and that new idea goes a long way to affect his personality. His attitude is being affected. And while the attitude is being affected, you will see that that one will translate into something that he can use the hand to do. So we have what we call the hand, the head, the heart, and the hand. These are the two the things we do when we finish teaching. So it means that our system is no more taking cognizance of these three domains of learning. The only thing we are doing is content. So has the child understood what he has been told? Is he able to change his attitude towards what he has learned? Has he been able to change that attitude into the skills he needs to use the hands to do that can translate the economy, that can change the economy, that can change the attitude and change the society in which we find ourselves? These are the things that we need to be looking at. And that is what it was before. All right? And we are not getting it again. So the system has deteriorated, if you ask me, to an extent that we need people to come in and technocrat educationists to come in and solve the problem. I ask myself, the university student who is going to the first year, he's been supported. Good idea from government. Why? It's good to support somebody in the university first year. The question is, what foundation has he got? And when he finishes, what is he going to be doing in the system? Which area is he going to be working? And how is he going to be working towards that? These are the things that we need to be looking at. Even if you ask me, before you even access that money, though it may not be fair, they should ask you one or two questions. You are going to the university. What are you going to do in the university? If you finish university, what do you want to become? How are you going to change the system? If you should be asking this question before the monies are released to them, the person will be conscious now. If you conscious, hey, if you're going for this meeting, you have to go and tell them what you need, what you want to do in the system before the money is given to you. So the person now begins to be thinking outside the box. Even the things that he has never thought of before, he begins to invite them, begins to say, oh, Charlie, I want to become this, I want to become this, I want to become this. And that is shaping the life of the child or of the student who is going to school. So that when he comes back or he finishes school, he will say that, when I was going for this loan, this is what I said. And I am doing it, and I'm not doing it. It's just a straight jacket thing. He must go to school. First, he hasn't got money to pay. He will pay the money. When he finishes school, that's next.
Yeah, interesting. Now we'll transition the conversation and we'll bring it to our today problem we have it. I think somewhere 2018, 2019, we had the government, the SWAL government introduce the free SHS, where they also system. But before that, I want us to take a listen to the Minister of Education address what government is going to do to the double track system. Then we'll take the conversation from there.
We remain committed to ending senior high school education. Accordingly, into the 2026 formula of the GET Fund, President Mahama has directed the Minister of Finance, Atuforsen, to make an allocation of 1 billion Ghana cedis dedicated to managing the transition and responding to the hurdles of the transition. And we remain.
So you just had the Minister of Education address us on government's commitment to phase out the double track system, and that's the green and yellow which was being implemented, so that we'll go back to the single track as we have it. I'll start with you, Dr. Ashibowale Mensah. Let's start with the double tracks which was implemented. I think the government's plan at that time was that they wanted to open up education for everybody to have access to it. What did you make of that system of education?
You see, one problem that I have, we want to make education accessible to every child. In what form, in what category, at what level will that child access education? Yes, we are made differently, and we have been endowed with different talents and gifts. You can only go to school to know your level. If you don't go to school, you can become, I want to become a medical doctor, I want to become this, but the school will tell you where you must be. So the school tells each and every one of us where you belong. So if you have a system where you want everybody to go to school, in the first place, it's a wrong premise, because everybody cannot go to school. Some must go to school, some must do other things. And it is in a way of building.
But doctor, shouldn't schooling be the basis for anything anybody wants to do? Whether you want to go.
He has finished JHS. He has finished JHS. He can speak English. He can write his name. Is that not enough? So that if he's not even good at doing going to grammar school, why should we force him to go to grammar school? So that one who has aggregate 52, 60 is in school to do what? To do what? What is he going to do? Yes, the hope may be that the person can transform.
Yes.
That's the hope. We can transform.
And even for some people, they might have gotten that 52 because of where he attended basic school at. Of which there's been evidence that some of them, when they transition to senior high, and if they're able to go attend, let's say, what we typically classify as a good senior high school, you see a huge transformation in such person's life.
So this is where, in implementing this system, you need to work at it critically. You mentioned someone coming from a rural school, whose aggregate is 52. All right?
Yeah.
So that person can be given an opportunity to go to school. Not the person who went to school in Accra, St. John's Grammar, or went to some big schools in Accra and got 52. Must he also be to school? He has got all the facilities in the school. The good teachers are there. So if the person is, one person is continuing JHS, he has got 52. You also have an Achimota JHS. You also have 52. What went wrong? That you, the Achimota graduate and the continuing graduate must go to school at the same time. So you can see that there must be some way of trying to stratify the people that must be going to the school, because you want to build an economy. Okay? You want to build an economy. It must not be an economy that must be based solely on education. Look to America. Not everybody is in school. Some are doing artisan work. So now it has come to the point that you dare not tell any parent to send his or her child to go and become an apprentice to an art, to a craft. You dare not. And you dare not tell even your child that don't go to school, go and learn how to sew, go and learn how to weld, go and learn how to fix cars. You dare. Once they have the basic education, they would have been there to make the economy to grow. Now we are producing children, graduates from SHS, who do not know anything. They don't have a job, and they are not ready to go and learn to become an apprentice, because Okada. They are riding Mahama can do this tricycle.
Yeah.
When they are riding in. But that guy could have been taken to an apprentice shop and given the necessary logistics like Mahama wants to do now. I don't know how that thing is going. And that place will be better placed in society. The kind of money he would have been getting from the work he'll be doing, he is now becoming a graduate, so I cannot go and be an apprentice to a mechanic. I cannot be a graduate and go and be an apprentice to a tailor or seamstress or whatever. This is where we have got it wrong. So this double track already, if you listen to the minister's speech, is a wrong one. If it were to be right, we would have gotten there. So you have increased the numbers without increasing the facilities. Where have you gone wrong? What is the thinking behind it? Is it just politics of it? Oh, I have promised the people, so I want to do what? And this is where politics is heading now. So when you bring politics of education into our system, this is where we find ourselves. Now, no child wants to become an apprentice. What go to the secondary school? So if you see our secondary school today, it is not a place of learning. It's a place of hooliganism. Because those people who could not do anything in school, who could not learn, who could not understand anything that is being taught in class, what are they thinking about that? Let them know that I also exist. So they cause trouble. They cause trouble. So seriously, this educational reform in the name of politics is ruining our economy. It's ruining the economy. So thank God that they want to remove it. But if you look at the money they are putting in, 1 billion Ghana cedis. Now, we don't know how they are going to do. Whether they are going to cut the admission point or they are going to go the way they have gone, 52, 60, and that kind of thing. Is that how they're going to do it now? If that is the way they want to just expand.
The 1 billion is also to assist in completing some of the uncompleted schools so that it is going to absorb some of these students who would have hitherto come to the other schools which are picking people so that it will ease the burden. Giving access to every student to attend secondary schools, but we'll have more schools.
So secondary school has become the basis for our education, where if you don't attend secondary school, you will not be able to become an apprentice. Is that a way? Is that a meaning? That if you go to secondary school, before you'll be able to do A, B, C, D. Is that a meaning? If that's a meaning, that is fine. Then we need to take recognition of our artisans, the plumbing work, the carpentry work, the masonry work. Now you don't see them, my brother. You have to go to Togo and bring masons. They are working in my house now. They are from Togo.
But doctor, there are technical schools which also ought to have taken care of such people. So that those go to the technical schools, I presume that is the kind of training we give to them.
Let me give you a practical example. One of the technical guy who is in my school.
Yeah.
I have a school. He went to technical school. He is teaching my school.
Okay.
What has he gone through? So he went to technical school. Is that all about it? He went to learn how to do A, B, C, D at technical school. And he came out. There is in the classroom teaching. So what is it? So those people need to be identified and supported. They will be able to make meaning to our education. They will make meaning to you are finished technical school. What did you do? Come. You go through this training for this number of months. We'll give you this, we'll give you that, we'll give you that. We produce them, we leave them to go on their own. This is the system we are building for ourselves. Now we have Tibet service. Who is going to take care of Tibet schools? What is the plan? What is the program? Something must be in there, my brother. There must be something there that can motivate them to say that, oh, I won't go to grammar school again. Let me go to technical school. Because when I finish, I'm going to get it, and then establish myself to become an employee. But they open the technical schools, the vocational schools, and they are waiting for somebody to employ them. This is where we got it wrong. So the free SHS, yes, let it be free, but let it have a cut-off point. And those who couldn't make that up to that point, they must be given something else to do. It gives meaning to our education. Now, as it is, now they're expanding other secondary schools to have the facilities to be expanded to absorb all of it. Are we going to be absorbing the 52s? Is that what we are saying? That we are expanding it because we want to absorb everybody? Can't you put in place for these people to also... Now, those days when you want to be academically okay, they give you something else that will support you as a family. And that is what we know. That's what has been done. Now, things have changed. And this is where we find ourselves struggling to be able to make ends meet, struggling to be able to finish our education. And we are finishing, yet there is nothing to write home about. So we need to sit down, go back to the drawing board, look at the things that we're supposed to be doing, and we can get over all this problem. The last I mentioned that we need educational revolution. educational revolution in every aspect of education that can make the Ghanaian economic stabilize. You know, when education is good, the economy becomes okay. All right? Now, the economy is being no, it would be better if we restructure our educational system where everybody has a role to play. Everybody will bring a city onto the table, bring a city into the economy. And once this is done, then you can say we are giving meaning to our education in Ghana.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Ashibwe-Mensah. In fact, on your point on the educational revolution, we're going to come back to it for us to look at what should go into that revolution. I'll take some comments from Mr. Evans, but I'll come back to that. So maybe in the meantime, you can give it some thought while I hear from Mr. Evans on the double track system. What are your thoughts on that?
You see, the double track system, as Doc just said, took us to the further ambits of, the poor level of education that we turned out. It was a very bad policy, I have to say it. And it's rather very unfortunate that we took that route, And I think Dr. Ashibwe-Mensah has said it all. Not everybody is cut to go to school. Not everybody is cut to go to the university. Not everybody is cut to do certain things. What we should be thinking as a nation to do is that, can we have a better and sound basic education, strong foundation, that when the child stands on it after level 6 or after level 9, he or she will know that this is my passion that I want to follow. How many technical schools do we have in this country? How many vocational schools do we have in this country? And we've stigmatized these schools so much so that when a child goes to that school, nobody recognizes him or her. Yeah. You have to go to the secondary schools, like the Adisados and the Fasipim and the Akradios and those big schools. And then when you come out, you will be able to rub shoulders. But the various vocational schools that we have, how have we developed those schools? How have we made those schools attractive? And as he rightly said, some people came to do my POP here. They came from Togo. You see, so if we don't expand the frontiers of our educational institutions to really bring up vocational, technical, and agricultural institutions, every Tom, Dick, and Harry would like to go to the secondary school and then enter into the university. So at what point can we sit back and say, look, enough is enough? Look, no child is useless. No child is useless. No matter how dumb that child is, he's not useless. When you give him the right direction and he's in the right space that he or she is comfortable, he or she will bring out his or her best in everything, whether in dressmaking, whether in farming, whether in visual art, anything. No child, I always say it, no child is born useless, no matter how. But we are not giving them the right direction. We are not. You go to the secondary school, the best students should do science. Those who are weak and they are nothing and they don't know anything, go and do visual arts. But meanwhile, if these children are trained well in visual arts, they will earn money, they will enter into the employment field before those who do their BA in psychology and sociology, and before them. These children will earn money, they will be in business before even they. And if care is not taken, they will even come and work for these people who we did not recognize. So these are the things. We must stop the stigmatization of schools. This school is not the best school. I want my child to be in the Achimota. I want my child to be in Addis. I want my child to be there. There will be so much pressure on those secondary schools. At the end of the day, what do we achieve? So, as I'm saying, and I agree in total with what Dr. Ashiboy Mensah said, we must look at the various facets of education in this country. We should not focus on grammar, 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 grammar. It will not help us. It will not help us in any way. All what we'll be doing is that we'll be producing unemployed graduates. So that track system that we did didn't help us. And how can 52, 60 enter into secondary school? That is not his passion. His passion is not grammar. His passion is to do something with the hands. And we forced him. You see, it's just like a lefty someone who writes with the left.
Yeah. And
we are forcing him to write with the right. The guy is a lefty. He writes, we call it what, southpaw, whatever they call it. That's what he can write with. And we are forcing him to write with the right. Doesn't make sense. Because small school, that
was also very common in our basic schools growing up.
So we must sit down as a nation. We must really sit down and look at this thing holistically, and then make sure that we get the child to be at the place where his soul and body will be happy. That is all.
Yeah. So then I presuppose that in your estimation, the cancellation of the double track system by government is going to solve no problem from your estimation.
It's not going to, it's not going to solve anything. It's created more problems. If government has money, look at the vocational and technical school and equip them. Look at the vocational and technical schools and equip them. The children will come themselves. Let us stop the stigmatization of these schools. We should stop. We should stop. When you do that, the child will be forced to be doing the grammar, and he or she cannot do the grammar. Let them know that, look, there are opportunities here. So come in. And they will really come themselves, and they will be happy at where they are. Look, there was a time I was listening to, I think, TV3 or so. And that was years back, about 10, 15 years ago, if I can remember. And, they were doing this quiz from the universities. And one of the boys, a student there, said, oh, he's reading economics. But when he finished, he wants to go to have his own shop. He's not going to work for anybody. You see, this is somebody who is business-minded already.
Yeah.
He's business-minded. And that's the same way we have these children. They can do a lot of things. They art and craft and other things. So let us find the passion for these children at very early age and then push them to where they belong. Even if he gets English F, that shouldn't be a problem. When he gets into the vocational school, they'll go over, they start, that will not be the focus, but they will make sure that at least he brings the F, at least, if not at all, to 7. At least, it's okay. He will be able to speak the language, he will be able to fill a form, he will be able to fill a form, he can read and understand, and for me, that is more than enough. He's not going to write the Queen's English. He's not. But at least something that, he'll be able to, turn himself around. But if we said everybody will go to grammar school, grammar, where are we going to end? And we turn out unemployed graduates. That should be the focus. We should sit down as a nation and look at this thing very critically. And if you are able to do it systematically, with the next 10 years, I'm sure the rate of unemployment in this country will go down.
Right, Mr. Evans, but again, I'm still on this issue. Beyond the curriculum, which you will consider that is no longer helpful, do you think there's also a logistic problem in terms of infrastructure? Because you'll see some schools where they are taught computer, like something on computer, I think ICT, but the school has no computer. So the teacher will come to class, draw the computer on the board, draw the keyboard, and will say when you press here, you press A, you press here, you press B. Isn't that also a real challenge beyond the curriculum?
Oh yes, it is. It is. It is. I would not dispute that at all. Our schools don't have the basic logistics infrastructure and facilities. I mean, you go to the science labs of some of the schools. 10 years, 5-6 years ago, we went around most of the secondary schools, especially those in the northern part, and their laboratories and were very, very awful, very, very awful. We don't have them. Yes, it's a fact. I will not dispute that at all. When we have these things like a fully functional laboratory, either ICT, physics lab, chemistry lab, biology lab, libraries, these things are there. Yes, these things are there. Fine, it can help. They are not there. There's no doubt about it. When it comes to logistics, woefully inadequate in all schools, which for me is a disgrace. So it is not the number of children that you are pushing into the school alone, but the logistics. It has to go comparable with the logistics, so that at least if there's a science lab, a biology lab, you must have the full complement of every equipment.
Yes. So then if the logistics, again, is the problem, then isn't that what is the problem with us not having the right skill for the market? Because then if you've gone, you say you have done science, you probably might never have seen a test tube or a titration chamber before. After school, no matter the content we give to you, if we put you in any lab, there's nothing you can do. So at the end of the day, you don't become qualified for the job market. Don't you think that these are also real problems beyond the curriculum?
You see, if you overload the school, let's take a typical secondary school A, and instead of the school having about 1,500 students, you put 3,000 students there, and you don't have that equal facilities, equipment. This is the problem that you have. But maybe the little money that you have other institutions like dressmaking or vocational schools. Maybe that school you only need one sewing machine or two sewing machines. These students can gravitate to those areas. You see, but we've put everything. You see, the focus is too much on grammar, and we are, leaving the vocational institutions out. So everybody is gravitating towards that, and the pressure there is so high that government can't supply everything. Government can supply everything. So that is a challenge. But when we create that environment, look, if, for example, the boy is interested in sports, what does it take? You only need a field, boots, socks, and the guy can train. You don't need to go and buy a test tube for that boy. You don't need. But you force the boy. The boy still wants to show off. So he said, okay, I'm also going to do science. Then he enters into the laboratory. There's nothing there for him or her. What have you achieved? Nothing. So for me, we should sit down and then look at our educational system critically well, devoid of politics. When the boy has a passion, you push him. Even if the facilities are not there, because he has a passion for it, he himself will improvise. He will improvise because he has the passion. When we were playing football, we didn't use boots. We only use socks, bunny, to tie our foot. We go to the pharmacy shop, buy a bandage, then bandage our legs as if we have sore. We bandage it just to make sure that we protect our legs. We have improvised and we play the ball, all right. We were not using boots. That is another way of improvising. You see, so if you can improvise, you don't have the facilities, then what are you doing? When we were playing on this raw sand. How do we call it? This in Ghana we call it what? Milicha. I don't know how. Gravels. We were playing on, on gravels, and we were happy until Astofed and other things keep on board. So we must sit down where we can improvise and improvise appropriately. We do it. Where we can have the basic items to support them, we do it. But we should not push everybody to do the grammar in secondary school.
Right, absolutely.
It's time for us to diverse, our educational system. Let's diversify our educational system so that everybody can have a bit of the pie.
Absolutely. I'll turn now again to Dr. Ashibwe Mensah. Coming back on your educational revolution, which you are calling for, what will you want to see in the new educational system that government should create from your educational background?
Thank you. Not only government, this revolution will have to do with the involvement of the parents, the school children themselves, the government, and the teachers. It must be a revolution that must be launched in the national capital, now disseminated to the various districts. Even after the districts, it must go down to the circuit, that every parent, every stakeholder has a role to play. Once you have something to do with education, it should be in the picture. Now, the most important for me, apart from the government, the parents, and the school children themselves, the most important revolution must happen in the profession, the teaching profession, where teachers who are the definer of education must be at the center. They are at the center, but now they don't seem to know that they are at the center of education. Sometimes teachers think that the government is at the center of education. Sometimes the parents, sometimes the people. Now, you can remember those days when our students don't do well. If they don't do well, teachers don't blame themselves. No, they don't blame. They blame somebody else.
Yeah.
In my class, I just finished a class, and one teacher was saying that you can do all your best, but the student is still not getting it right. And I say, you are not effective. What is effectiveness? Effectiveness is the desire that you have to come into being. Whatever you think should happen must happen. So what results do you want your children to achieve? Have they achieved it? If yes, then you are effective. If no, it means you are not effective. Your ultimate goal is that the student must be able to pass your exams. They must be able to understand. They must be able to have the skills. Do they have all this? If they don't have it, you are not effective. But if your government tells you, I've done everything, but my student is not doing. No, the teacher hasn't done everything. One question, has he called in somebody to come and assist him train that child? Did he change the pedagogy? Did he change the environment? Did he change the way he introduces the lesson? So teachers will be at the center of this revolution, where they must consciously be told that the good or the goodness of the child, or the best performance of the child depends on him or her. Depends on him or her. So this revolution must bring us the consciousness of the role each and everyone is supposed to play in the educational system. The role the parent is supposed to play, the role the government is supposed to play, and the role the child himself or herself is supposed to play. That will make the cycle complete. Now, we are all sitting down blaming each other. Because, again, one of them said, if the child does something, you call the parents will not come. And the question is, why didn't the parents come? The parents need education. She needs education. Because she hasn't gotten the education, she does not see why she must go to the school because of it. He has no idea. He's in the village, is go to the farm, go to the market. But her interest or his interest in the child can produce a better result. Because when children see their parents involved in their education, it improves. Winter has that once parents are involved in the education of their children, the child performs better than if they are not involved.
Yeah.
So there is a need for us to be able to look at all this to make a way. Now, all the question here, the question is that Deborah Uda says that schooling is the making of particular sorts of people to make particular sorts of people. So it means that school make particular sorts of people. The one who is the banker, it is school who made him. The one who is an engineer, it is the school who made him. So it is not the responsibility of the teacher to be able to identify the talent that is in that child through the lessons he presents to the kids. So if you don't plan your lessons well, thinking about the child to be part of the lesson, my brother, you are pouring water on rocks. Because now the system has become so choked that we just go to the school to go and make some money. At the end of the money, it's going to be paid. So that his mind is also on something else. But if we should concentrate on the work we do, we will be able to achieve more. And maybe government must also be looking at a point where government will ask itself, how much am I paying this staff, this teachers? Yes, they are the greatest, the biggest employee in Ghana. Yes, but they are making the bankers, they are making the engineer. How painful is it that the one who trains someone to become an engineer is less paid? His pay, his salary is woefully comparable to the one who he trained to become an engineer. Yet teachers are coming up. Teacher wants to be like the engineer who has a car, who has a good house. So what must he do? He must do something else. He must do something else. Otherwise, he cannot go to the society.
Yeah.
When people are talking, you cannot talk. Because that is the culture of Ghanaians.
Yeah.
Whoever has the money, has the resources, is more respected than the one who hasn't them. So the teacher being a teacher will also be thinking that I need to be respected in the society. So apart from the classroom teaching I do, I must do something else. Look at the time the teacher is using to do something else. If he had stayed at home, do some research, plan the lessons, incorporate the students in the lessons, and go to deliver, what kind of students are you going to be delivering? Can you imagine the kind you'll be delivering?
Yeah.
But his soul, his mind, I'm calling for, that everybody must be. The teacher must be paid well, Margaret. Teachers must be paid well. Once they are paid well, I think that for God's sake, in the name of getting money, they will concentrate on the work.
Right, but in terms of the curriculum development also, what will you want to see in the revolution?
You see, as for the curriculum, we have deviated for far too long. For far too long, deviation has come in. Let's take, for instance, agriculture. Now, the agriculture are now becoming estates. The agriculture is shrinking. Agriculture are not shrinking. We are now, estate developers are now buying agriculture to sell to us to come and build on them. And after building, they will go hungry. So because we are not encouraging our youth, our children to go into agriculture, that is why agriculture cannot be found in our curriculum.
Yeah.
GHS has nothing called agriculture. Primary has nothing called agriculture. It's science. Science, okay, some small agri, some small health, some small this, some small that. No. The curriculum has a problem. Today they will say, oh, our word, our people. Today is no more. You don't have our word, our people again. So why? What advice the curriculum developers to bring in our word, our people? What advise them to take it out now? What advise them to take agriculture from our curriculum? What advise them to take civic education from our curriculum? Look at what we are doing. Look at the things we are doing today. The things we are doing today. All right? Yeah. Everybody will do English, science, blah, 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 blah. So they are good. But what is the practical curriculum? Now, looking at the curriculum again at this point, it is true that a good teacher will be able to practicalize any kind of curriculum that he has. Because I have maintained that every subject, every lesson, every course has something to do with society. It has an element of practicality in the course. So we shouldn't look at the course to be a theoretical course so that we don't link it to everyday life. If we do that, then we are shooting ourselves in the foot. We are not being sincere to ourselves that the education we are having, we are only learning English, that we cannot see them being applied to ourselves in the community. So it's the responsibility of the teacher again that no matter the curriculum that comes, we should be able to design the curriculum in such a way that it becomes practical, that the child whom you are talking to will see exactly what you say in the classroom, outside the classroom, either in the market or at home or in the church or in the farm. We must be able to see that. So if teachers do not link what is taught in the classroom to what can be found in society, then there is no lesson. There is no lesson. Where is he going to apply what he has learned in the class? So we train ourselves, the same educational system, just only depending on the theory without applying that to the practical. Now, I know that the recent exams that the children go through, some kind of practicality is coming in.
Yeah.
There are some practice is coming in the certain now. But the question is, were they taught? Were they taught in the class before they go to write the exams?
Very good question.
What training did the teacher go through to be able to identify the need, the skill, the knowledge, the desire, the interest of that child? Has he got a skill? You see? So that is why the revolution, basically, the teachers will be at the forefront because they are changing the lifestyle of the child. They are making the child to be a particular person. They are making the child to be the banker and to be the engineer, to be the medical doctor, to be the psychologist, to be this, to be that. They are making the so they must have the skill of identifying that. Okay, when you grow up, you become a policeman. You will be a medical doctor. So it's like you are prophesying physical prophecy, not spiritual, but physical prophecy because you have identified the behavior, the attitude, the characteristics of the child to be able to come to that conclusion. You see, you've been able to come to that conclusion because you have been able to identify the child's needs and interests. So once that is done, then you see that you are shaping the child. Now let me tell you something else here. It is also an important exercise for teachers that the report card we have for them must have an element of who the child will become. If I have a report card of my class 1 student, class 2, class 3, there should be a portion where the future person of the child, then you write military officer, security, intelligence, medical doctor, blah, 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 blah. Now, that information must be an information that the class 2 teacher, when the guy is promoted to class 2, the class 2 teacher will look at Kofi Mensah and say, teacher says that you become a medical doctor. Okay, let me observe and see.
medical doctor. That means that the teachers have some kind of skills to be able to identify who the child will become or what the child will become. Then it goes on and on and on. Then having looked at that, then you see that we are shaping that child to meet the profession that his passion is there. So when he gets there, look, I mean, because he has the passion there, he is going to do the work with all his mind, with all his understanding, with whatever, because that is the trace that you have identified. Not that today, my brother, today, so sad to say, that when my father was a medical doctor, it's hypothetical, my father was not a medical doctor. When my father was a medical doctor, Kofi Asibwe-Mensah must by all means become a medical doctor because my father has a clinic. Should that be the case? If my interest is not becoming a medical doctor, then I'll be forced to become a medical doctor. How would that work? How would that work? Let me tell you a story. Let me end this session here. There is this young lady in the university who was supposed to get a medicine from her father. Her father wanted to become a medical doctor, and this girl wants to go into music. So the medicine wasn't going well for her. Until one day he saw the professor. He said, "Professor, I want a certificate in medicine." My father says, "I should do medicine." Meanwhile, I like music. So please, I want a certificate. Blah, 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 blah. He went and paid some money to the professor. Reluctantly, he took the money. So one day the professor was sick and went to the hospital. Then they told him that the medical doctor is coming to see him. Before he realized, the lady who paid him money because the call. Then he goes.
Yeah. Very interesting analogy. But I mean, many thanks for the revolution.